Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is day 7 of this 30-day challenge. Been going 7 days straight, creating a habit again of writing every day and just getting my butt in the chair. And thank you for being here. And so today I am going to continue my research with Peter Crosby and the whole Vicksburg massacre. I am still in the testimony of Chairman Beard, who was the chairman of the Taxpayer League, and they were the ones that really ousted Peter from his office of sheriff. All right, let's just get going. righty. So set this for 10 minutes there. Okay, so this is our 10-minute break. So what I've just been reviewing right now, still within Chairman John Beard's testimony. A lot of his testimony so far has been really about what happened with the election that was back in August. And so I think that the Republican that is questioning him right now is trying to get a bigger picture of the environment of what was going on in Vicksburg that led up to the massacre. And so in August, there was an election, and the white people were really concerned that Black people were illegally voting, as far as they felt like there were a lot of maybe dead people that were registered. People from other states were coming in to register. And so it sounds very familiar or similar to a lot of the accusations regarding voter registration here currently in this present day, where they think that there's a lot of voter fraud. So these things aren't new. And so, but what was different for that time, and we'll see if things change here as well. But they're trying to figure out who, in this questioning, he doesn't know where the orders came from to have all of these military companies or cavalries present. Basically, there were about 500 person military force in Vicksburg around the time of the election, during the time of registration. And so they also made a point of not allowing anyone from Louisiana to come into Vicksburg. And so just to visit. And the congressman that is interviewing him is trying to get down to the bottom of it, of who said that we couldn't allow any person, basically any person, just to even come visit into the state, into the city. So he couldn't answer. He did not know. One thing, this was funny at the time, or what I was reading, it says, do you wish this committee to understand that the state of affairs in Vicksburg was such that it took 500 armed men to carry on and secure a proper election? He says that they might have gotten along with less. They might have gotten along with less. He also questioned him about the population in Vicksburg at the time. It was around anywhere from 16 to from 17 to 18,000 people in Vicksburg. Beard did not know the racial population, to how many whites versus how many blacks were there. But what we do know in the South, especially not too long after slavery, or at least during slavery, blacks far outweighed the population in the South versus whites. And so when slavery ended, there were far more black men eligible to vote. And that's why so many black people got elected. It wasn't because, there was falsehoods of, people being registered that were, they had passed away. I mean, there might have been a few cases, but it wasn't overwhelmingly. The thing is, there were way more enslaved people in the South than white people. So when when slavery ended, they had voting power and they used it. And that's why we got, so many people that were elected. So I don't know fully how much more they're going to continue delving into this part of the story, but this, this is one of the reasons why there's so many things that happened um, from the time of slavery, ending through the ending of Reconstruction, which was in 1877. Slavery ended in 1865, or technically 63, but people in Texas didn't know till 65. So, which hence, Juneteenth. Um, but I plan on doing this as a series. And even though my focal point right now is the Vicksburg massacre and what led up to that, there's so many interesting stories that lead up to this, and other characters and things that I want to explore. But right now, my focus is really getting down the timeline of everything that led up to this, pivotal moment in history, and really getting to know who was part of this community, who were the leaders and who weren't the leaders, but who were just the regular folk, just trying to live their lives in the 1870s. I want to explore relationships, romantic relationships. How did what was the family dynamics for both black and white, and what were their daily habits? Um, how did they move forward with tensions and that were clearly present? Even though when I went through Andrew Owen's testimony, he was I would say he was very kind. I don't know if he was kind or fearful to really speak his mind completely fully. Though he did stand his ground when things, when he found or were listening to inaccuracies. He's like, he was definitely put his foot down. It's like, oh no, that did not happen. But when he talked about certain people like Colonel Miller, I don't know if he was just kowtowing, and that was he really a good person throughout all this. We know one of his younger counterparts of Andrew Owen said some really harsh things, about Colonel Miller. Um, and he really put a lot of the military forces, into play, or he was over seeing them all. So I still question that. I need to um, see more, read more of the testimonies, or even just dig more into his past, and to create a more a rounded character, because I see that he's definitely going to be a major player in this series. So that's the thing. It's like, there's a lot of people that I'm discovering, but again, you can't focus on every single one. But who do I want to lay out? Who do I want to plant the seeds, and what do I want to foreshadow that leads up to things? So again, my first line of defense, not defense, of getting things done, is to complete going through all of these testimonies, to see get the names down of all the people that were involved, and then go back to the earlier books that I had read already, and just lay out the timeline, start building out my outlines, and seeing how because in my mind right now, currently, I would like it to be a 3-book series, but who knows? If I work things more in with the DA, which there was a black DA at this time. Yeah, and I'm going to write about him probably in the next month or so for my Substack. And if you want to dive deeper into any of the stories that I'm talking about, because I have written about them a lot on my Substack, and that link is in the description. It's danitajones.substack.com. So I'm about to get back into continuing with the testimony of Chairman John Beard. morning. On the late freight, but made it gonna work a while longer after sessions. Okay, great. I'm so happy to have you here. All right. All right. So that is time. I have been still in the testimony. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So happy that you're here, Shanae. I just been working on continuing the testimony of Chairman Beard, who was the chairman of the Taxpayers League, and they are the ones that forced Peter Crosby out of office. And right now, I'm at the point of where he's talking about forcing George Davenport out of office, another Black elected official, and what went down there, and him trying to coax him to come out of the office, and saying that he won't be harmed or anything like that. But Davenport was scared, and he said he was not going to make a statement of yes or no until after he spoke to his attorney. So that's where I'm at right now. And earlier, I was going over the stuff about it was so similar to what we deal with regarding um, elections now, and the whole accusation about voter fraud. They had an election in August of that year, and they had 500 military troops there to ensure that the right people were voting, that it wasn't like these dead Black people on the register voting. They made sure people didn't come in from Louisiana, even if they're just visiting, because they think that people were coming in from Louisiana to vote. And so he admitted that they probably didn't really have to have those many people or at all. And then they also went over that, shouldn't the county register be responsible for that completely? And he said he did admit that yes, but it was just a show of force, and and voter intimidation, and that was again in '74. So they had already, but when they saw that all these Black people had got, I mean, sorry, '75, they already saw that so many Black people had gotten elected. They really went into a whole thing of let's put a stop to this. So yeah, so that's been really interesting going over that stuff right now. So yeah, so I'm going to wrap it up now, and let me see. And so, Shanae, just go ahead and keep working on what you're working on. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow. This was day seven straight for me. So I'm really happy and proud that I've been sticking with it. And I'm going on TikTok live in the 9 o'clock hour to talk more about this, and encouraging people to create a habit, a daily habit of writing, or create a habit. It doesn't have to be daily, but getting back on track of what you really want to do. So have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow.